Good morning, everybody. Here we are, Sunday, the 3rd of December. And of course, Advent tile number 3. So, okay, where are we going today? We've got our first two. Remember, the first one I actually did do in pen and shaded it. That's number 1 up here. See, top number 1, so that's going to sit there. Yesterday, number 2, because it's slightly in the middle, I've actually drawn it in pencil and left it because it's quite clear that that's going to have other aspects going with it. So rather than think I've got to match it together, which of course we do have to some extent, I left it in pencil so we could just make amendments if we need to. So today's, let's have a look. I'm going to just tick off number 2 because we're now coming down here to number 3. So, okay, if we're all ready, I'm going to make a start. So already written everything on. And remember, I'm just going to put myself a little T for the top to remind me. And then mark a little bit down the middle there. Not too heavy, just keep it nice and light because it's just giving you an idea of where I'm working and what the contrast is. Good morning, Sue. Okay, that's all. Doesn't want me to go bigger. Let's try again. There we go. That's better. Okay, so where are we going to go from here? Again, I'm going to start with pencil. I just think it's a good way to go, especially when you're doing a larger piece. You want to sort of get the context in there. So, okay, where are we going to start? I think we're going to start, let's have a look at this sort of top edge because it's sort of got a line coming through from here. And it's going to come all the way down past there to about there. So let's just put that one in, about there. And then on the end of that, we're going to have a bit of a leaf shape. It's just slightly out there, coming down here. And I'm only going to pencil this bit in because there's another one that comes off here. And then it goes over that one, you see. So we're sort of drawing them backwards a little bit because then there's another one here. And that one's a bit larger, and that one goes over that one. Okay, so that's where that sort of starts. The easier one, I suppose, we've got one here as well. Now this is, it's sort of coming, let's go in there. Slightly up because it's going to take up quite a bit of that space. There, okay. All right, and then down this sort of bit here, we've got a leaf. Because they are leaves. It's coming from about there and it's just touching over the top of that one. Like that. Okay. And then another one coming down here and it's going just to that corner. Making a little bit of a point, like so. Okay. So, put a little line in there and a tiny little one in there. That sort of gives me my main sort of leafy shapes. And we do have another one coming sort of up here a bit. So let's put that one in. The line goes up towards this centre line. And then in like that. So lots of leaves going on here, okay? And in this sort of space here, we've got some sort of a line and another, like that. Okay? Don't really know what's happening there or what that's coming to, but let's have a look down here. I've got sort of a line coming from here. It's going down behind, coming out down there. Let's put that. And then another one real close to it, like that. And now we've got a little bit of similar coming here, so it's sort of coming round there. It's creating like a little leafy shape in its own right there. And then on this end, it's got sort of, this is sort of coming in to form a little loop. And it's just going to be a little one kind of thing there. Like that. So that sort of follows on from that one, you see. And then here it's got a few bits, but it's really tiny, so I'm not going to worry about doing that section. And top here, I've got a little bit of a line in and a little curve. And then it's got a heart shape There we go. Well, let's all go here. Sorry, Rose, if we woke your little puppy up. But, yeah, I think John's outside clearing a bit of snow. Give me a second, I might have to move him out the window. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. Oh, hey, Seth, I was asked on the last word. Seth? Good boy. Okay, let's put some pen on this then. I'm pretty happy with it, so let's put this in. Some things, of course, if they're on the ends and you're not so sure, that's fine. You can leave it and do all of it in pencil if you prefer. It's nice to get some things in pen. If you're comfortable with it and you think, you know what, actually, this is going to be here. Like these leaves, it's absolutely fine to put those in. Because otherwise you're going to be drawing everything back up in pen later. And it's nice to take a couple of little sort of, not risks, but just go with it. And if anything changes, you can always, make a few modifications of your own. It's just that centerpiece that, needs a little bit more care. But this one, not a problem. All right. So you see, I've got those in. I'm not worried too much about keeping it exact. As long as they're in there, that's fine. So what to do with this piece here? I think I'm gonna leave that, because if we have a look at it, you see when we talked about this centerpiece here, number 3 is going into that one there. So this little bit here could be part of that centerpiece. So I'm not going to do anything with that one. I'm going to leave it. But everything else I'm going to put in with pen. Just to be sure. That was all. Because if there's a centre there and it's sort of integral to the piece, then we want to make sure that it's looking apart. So you see down here, I'm making a slight amendment, to this, because I just want to make sure that that curve is a little bit neater, and if it goes underneath, that's fine. Let's put that bit in. And then, of course, this one here, this is a different little pattern, isn't it? So I've got a little bit of a pointy shape on it there. So far, so good. So this section here, I'm going to fill it with bubbles. That's what it's showing me in the picture. And of course, any little gaps, I'm going to fill with a bit of ink, or you can fill with more bubbles, or you could fill this with lines, all sorts of things. Okay, and that one. Let's round that off. And then here too, this little piece in the middle is going to be filled with bubbles as well. So I'm starting. I never start at the end where it's really tiny. I always work my way down to it. I just think that that's a little bit easier, because you get the idea of the shape. So that's going to be, if you think that's a bit awkward, you can always draw it in pencil and then just go over and pen the bit you can't actually see. Just takes away that guessing, doesn't it? And there. Off we go on to those. So that's what that gives us. So we've got bubbles here, bubbles here. There are some bubbles here, but again, I'm not going to put those in because I'm not putting that in. So I might as well leave that for later. Let's extend that a little bit as well. And that bit. I suppose that'll all make sense at some point, but at the minute it doesn't make any sense, not even to me, because as you know, I'm only working with this particular square today. I'm not seeing the rest of it at all, and even this is slightly different. It's always going to be to the piece that I've actually got that I'm copying from. So okay, Let's bring a little bit of pencil in with this, I reckon. I'm going to put a little bit in there. And okay, so I'm going to bring in some graphite just to sort of one side of the leaf, maybe a little bit at the top there. So let's kind of follow that pattern round. You see it's going to slightly sit round there. So I'm not putting too much sort of effort into trying to get it all particularly neat, because as we know, the Tortillon is going to help us with that. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, I know, Pam, that was fun though, wasn't it? That absolutely taught you bubbles. The craft ember one was really nice. Actually, I do need to colour it in. I need to get around to doing that because it's sat there and I need to finish it. Okay, so let's just add a little bit of pencil, you know, in those areas as well. Don't have to, I'm just, you know, just where things go over the top of other things, it's nice to sort of put that in, isn't it? And then, again, nice thing about pencil is you can rub it out if you don't think it works later, or you can add more to it if you want to go a little bit darker. You need to add a little bit more in. It's absolutely fine. So there's no rights or wrongs with this. It's your version. I'm just giving you a hint. I say I have drawn the image, but I'm only seeing this particular section. So I'm sort of working a little bit blind, just as you are. It's kind of nice doing it that way, I think. Okay. To this one. See how that just sort of gives it a little bit of shape, doesn't it? Makes all the difference. So I'm going to add a little bit of pencil there as well, being that that's going underneath that one. Bring that in. And then of course along there. To there. See, look at the difference that pencil makes. It's crazy. So there we go. Number 3. So quick look, there you go, see, there's number 3. That's what I've been working to. You can see I've got those bubbles in there. I'm going to put them in later. And I do have a little bit of a pattern there, you see. But on mine, it's really sort of small, and that's the edge of the page. So I'm not going to try and put that in at all there. I think it's a little bit too small. Excuse me. So, okay, going to leave it at that. I'm not going to touch this as I say, because that could connect somewhere else later. So there we go, number 3, all done and sorted. So have a lovely day, everybody, and I'll catch you tomorrow for number 4. All right, take care. Bye.